Especially in your 20s and you're crafting your communication style and, kind of hopefully the way you're going to communicate for the rest of your life, offense is generally much better than defense. And there is a place for defense. There is a place for now and again you need to be defensive, and that's fine and that's important. But generally speaking, you want to be on offense, by the way, not offensive, okay? It's a completely different thing. No, I am not suggesting that you be offensive, although I know that sometimes happens. But what I'm saying is you want to be on offense as often as possible. When you're crafting your communication style, speak in the affirmative. Generally, speak about things that you believe in. Don't talk about things that you are not a believer in. Don't talk about things that you dislike. Talk about things that you like. Trust me on this. There is a big difference between talking about things you like versus talking about things you hate or don't like. And part of how people are going to craft their impression on you over the medium to long term, especially in a company, by the way, is going to be based on this very thing. There's some nuance involved, and the nuance is that it's sort of an evolution. It takes a little bit of time. It's not a, one day you're this and the next day you're that sort of thing. But there really is a big difference between these two things, night and day. Have you ever had a friend that, this has happened to me, where, you've kind of sort of lost touch with these particular types of friends? I guess that's my nice way of saying that, you stop being friends with them, and you really did genuinely like them, but every time you hung out with them, all they really did you ever notice this, or have you noticed this? All they ever do is just really kind of talk about other people and what's wrong with other people. They talk about what they don't like about things, even if they're in a bar. I don't like this, I don't like that. They never seem to really talk about what they do like. It's like, what's your story, man? What's your life story? Talk to me about things you like. I think I've heard enough in terms of the things you hate, but is there anything that you like, or is there anything that you love? And you'll be amazed from a communication style how many people are really kind of just, they roam around this earth talking in defense. They really are not articulating what they like. They're not articulating what they want to do. You know what? That probably says something about that person on a deeper level, granted, but I'm not here to play Psychologist 101. I'm really talking about a communication style here. And you want to also make sure you do that as often as possible. When you're with your friends, when you're with, when you're at your job, when you are meeting people for the first time, you want to tell people what you're about. You want to tell people what you like. You don't want to get into the habit of constantly talking about things that you don't like. To some extent, that's normal, and to some extent, there's a context for that. But in terms of your general approach to life, it's really kind of part of, how you sort of see the world, to be really honest with you. You want to talk in the affirmative. You don't want to talk against things. You want to talk for things. And if you take this advice, and I know it might seem like a small little thing, but it actually is not. It might be one of those nuanced things that says a whole hell of a lot about you, number one. And it also, by the way, has a lot to do with how well you're going to be perceived. Perception is reality. And I really... So send me your comments and questions, and each week you'll get a chance to win a copy of one of my books. Your choice. Either my book on presentation skills or business writing skills.